Because of this, you failed to notice the sounds of soft footsteps creeping down your hallway. Ah! That's nice. That's very nice. Well, of course we have to go back and do things a little differently. Let's see what happens if we lie and end the conversation. Oh, I just remembered that I was supposed to go do an inventory check on a couple hours ago, so if you'll excuse me. Eep!
Liar.
Oh, he don't like that. He don't like that one bit. No, you don't. Huh? What just happened? The eccentric man seems almost hesitant for a moment before his hand shoots out for a handshake. Most of it was covered by the sleeve of his cardigan, but it was close enough in my line of sight that I could make out the faint cuts and marks lining his fingers. Aw, were those burn marks? If you're busy, then I'll let you go, but my name is Ren, and it was nice to meet you, Espoir. Thank you for your help. How did you know my name? Where did his timid persona go? Oh yeah, name tag. Your name tag. Okay. Alright. This looks pretty much the same, perhaps. Let's do the absolute wrong and horrible thing and invite him over. Actually, you know what? Would you mind coming over and staying the night? I'd honestly feel a bit safer knowing that someone else was around. Oh, you actually want me to come over? I mean, yeah. Sure. Definitely. He seems a bit too eager for this. If it's not too much trouble, I get... Where is she? Espoir? Ah! Eleanor. This looks pretty much the same as well. Oh, something new has been added. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, the little pink note, I peeled the folded note off of my computer screen and read it. Angel, I'll wait for you after work, but if you change your mind about our deal, then just keep walking. I'll take the hint. Don't worry. That stuttering guy from aisle 8. I couldn't help but crack a smile at the name Ren chose for himself, and before I could allow Eleanor the chance to manifest behind me and tease me to Kingdom Come, I pocket the note and go back to sorting through the stack of returned books left on the desk. Really, camera, really. Once work was finished, I met up with Ren, who was patiently waiting for me on one of the benches near the library. From afar, he looked like an oversized puppy waiting for his owner to return, and admittedly, I found it rather cute, especially with how his figurative tail started to wag upon my arrival. Ren seemed all too happy to see me, and before I could call him out on it, he offers me a bottle of water that I assumed he bought from one of the stores down the street. You worked hard today. Now you can finally rest, huh? He's looking down at me again with a glimmer of expectancy in his eyes, and I hesitantly take the water from his grasp while giving an affirmative nod of my head. Thanks. No problem. Did you want to head off now, or do you want to rest for a bit? I mean, you were standing a lot today. He seemed lost in his own thoughts now, and I found myself wondering how he knew what I had been doing all day. After all, I figured he would have left after he found that book, but maybe he stayed a bit longer to read it. No, I'm fine, but do you think we could make a quick detour? In the end, we eventually found ourselves heading in the direction of the local locksmith, and I made sure to ask Ren all about his entire life story on the way there. So this is my place. You'll have to excuse the mess. I wasn't expecting to have anyone over. Hey, don't worry about it. I know you're not a messy person. I mean, from what I can tell, you don't really seem like the type. Yeah, well, I hope you can still keep that image of me after you see the state of my place. His soft laughter echoes down the hallway and almost drowns out the sound of my neighbor opening her door. Uh-oh. Oh! Violet almost seems embarrassed as she jumps behind her door, clearly not expecting someone to be around at this time, but she brushes it off with a soft smile and steps outside. Hello again, Espoir. We seem to be bumping into each other a lot today, huh? Oh. Who's this? Crap. How do I explain to her that Ren wasn't some guy I had just met at work today? I'm certain she'd chew me out for bringing home a complete stranger, but still, he didn't exactly seem like the type to murder me in my sleep. No, Violet might be getting something murdered in her sleep. In fact, he seemed more like the type of guy to ask me to return his order because he asked for no pickles or something. He said no pickles. This is... I'm Ren. Oh wait, look at that face. That's not how you read it. I'm Ren. Immediately, his large frame blocks my view as he steps in front of me and my neighbor, almost as if he wanted to put as much distance between us as possible. One of his hands shoots out from the inside of his pockets, and he gruffly offers it to Violet for her to shake. Concerned about his abrupt actions, I sidestep him and look up to gauge his expression. I totally wasn't, threatening your neighbor with my eyes. I'm a friend of Espoir's. I see. I haven't seen you around before, though. Are you new to the area? Relax, Vi. He's not a serial killer or anything.
Are you sure about that?
At least, I'm sure. At least, I sure hope he wasn't. And why did I feel this sudden urge to defend him? It wasn't like I could confidently say that he was some holy being that flew down from heaven or anything. Maybe he was the one who needed to be called Angel instead. Oh well, it didn't really matter. Really, Ren actually offered to stay at my place for the night in case that creep decides to come back. Oh, well, I mean, he certainly has the height for it. I get that a lot. But don't worry, she's safe in my hands. All right then. A friend of Espoir is a friend of mine. But I have my eye on you, Mr. Totally Not a Serial Killer. She whispers the next part to Ren under her breath, but clearly had the intention of letting me hear it and to hear it all as well. Just remember that I know what you look like now, so don't complain if you see your face plastered all over milk cartons soon enough. Bye, Espoir. Enjoy your night. And no funny business, you two. From what I've heard, there is some funny business in this game. I may have to censor it, I don't know. I'm off for my walk now. Toodles! With my plants. Ignore her. Please. Alright. Okay, but I gotta ask. Was she holding a potted plant on a walk? Yes, she was. Dropping my keys into the bowl, I shrug out of my coat and drape it over one of the chairs near the entrance. Well, make yourself at home. Ren looks around. Yep, this is exactly what the blueprint said. And I go, what? And he goes, nothing. Turning to Ren, I watch as he awkwardly shuffles about in the hallway, almost uncertain if he should come inside or not. He moves to take off his shoes, and I watch in awe as he neatly stacks them next to the umbrella rack. Oh, are you the type to leave your shoes on at home? Sorry, No, you're fine. Aw. Gosh, he really was adorable, but now that he was here, I wasn't quite sure what to do next. Usually I'd pop on a TV show or some anime while I chow down on some takeaway food, or even just talk with Moth until some unreasonable hour in the morning. But now I had company over. I wasn't quite sure what to do. I didn't even know what Ren liked to do in his free time. Turning to face the pink-haired man once more, I almost jumped back in fright. Clearly, I wasn't expecting him to get so close to me while I was lost in thought. I could almost feel the heat radiating from his large frame, and I feel the small puffs of air leave his nostrils as he shyly leans down to look at me. Jeez, this guy must be huge. Oh, so... Breathe, Espoir. Breathe. Was there anything you wanted to do, or... Because I usually just... Dang it! It was so hard to think straight when he was standing so close to me and wafting his stupidly strong scent of mint and fresh linen in my direction. Why was I even so attentive to the way he smelled? Gosh, now I'm starting to get creepy. Don't betray me, camera. I'm watching you. Nah, I really don't have anything I need to do. You can just go about your normal routine if you want. I'll try not to get in your way. Or you could just put me in a corner somewhere and pretend I'm not here. Whatever works for you. No offense, but you take up a lot more room than you think, so I doubt that would work. Touché. Once again, I found myself being drawn in by his soft laughter, and I couldn't help but chuckle along with him. Was it always this easy talking to him? It was like we were childhood friends who were reminiscing about old times or something, except the only one making it awkward now was me. Glancing back at Ren, I notice how he's still looking at me with those expectant eyes of his as he looms over me in the entryway. He obviously doesn't want to do something I'd be uncomfortable with, and he couldn't really suggest anything since this wasn't his home, so I guess the choice was up to me after all. Oh boy, I really like this little how will you respond thing. It's very... Oh, look at that! Oh dear. What is that? Ren, what is that there? What have you got there? Watch some television, make a late night snack, suggest getting ready for bed. It's pretty late. But then again, a snack. Then again, food. Bed food. Bed. It's getting rather late, isn't it? Did you just want to get ready for bed? I can show you to the bathroom while I get the air mattress out. It's fine. I don't want to be a bother. I can just sleep on the floor or something. I don't mind, honest. Hey, don't worry about it. It's not a bother at all. Besides, I have timber flooring. I'll just be 2 seconds. Timber flooring. I turn and make a beeline for my closet before he can respond. And yet, I barely got 3 meters away before I could already hear the heavy footsteps of Ren following close behind me once more. Almost like a lost puppy. It was honestly kind of cute. Shaking my head to dismiss these thoughts, I pull out my trusty air mattress from the closet and begin setting it up in the lounge room. That is, until I found out that it had been... until I found out that it had a massive gaping hole on the side. Oh, lovely. Those darn rats! I swear, if I had the chance to move apartments, I'd take it in a heartbeat. But until then, I'll continue to send complaint after complaint to that butthole landlord. Really, I don't mind sleeping on the floor. You cannot sleep on the floor with the rats! There's a perfectly nice couch right there that your legs would probably stick out of. And like I said, I have timber flooring, unless... No way was I about to suggest it. Absolutely not. There was no way in heck that I was going to...
Because I wanted to do one of those funny things like, and you ever watch F Troop where Agarn says, there's no way I'm wearing a dress, absolutely not, and then they wipe, and Agarn's wearing a dress.
You could share my bed. Maybe if I stack some blankets on the floor. That doesn't work. I've tried that. You could share my bed. Why would I say that? That's insane. Let's go for it. F. Did I really just suggest that? What was wrong with me? And where did I get so much confidence from? I was certain that my face was beet red by now, and I could barely spare a glance at Ren to notice that he was sporting a similar demeanor. Ren's like, did she really just... Oh, snap, maybe I should be worried. Sorry, I don't know why No, I don't mind. It's just... Is that really okay with you? I don't want to make you uncomfortable by invading your personal space, and I really don't mind sleeping on the floor. No, it's fine. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor in the first place, so I owe you. After showing Ren to the bathroom and changing into my own pajamas in the laundry room, I met him in the middle, and we both made our way to my bedroom. I didn't bother flicking on the light, knowing fully well that I'd be busy ignoring his presence next to mine by pretending to be asleep. So instead, I awkwardly lead him in before turning to face him in the darkness. You can just pick whatever side you prefer. You first. Oh, but maybe I should be the one closest to the door, just in case. He really didn't need to be so considerate, but nevertheless, I take my side on the left and he slowly slipped underneath the sheets. It must have looked forced, but I awkwardly pat the empty space next to me and shoot Ren a crooked smile. He slowly makes his way over and joins me under the covers. And before I even could say anything, I slammed down a pillow between us. Just in case I roll over on something, I'm known to be a cuddler in my sleep. Oh, that's fine. I'm the same, I think. You think? I mean, no one's told me yet, but I've woken up to my limbs tangled around my pillow more times than I can count. I see. Yeah. Great, now it's awkward again, but being this close to him, I could smell his scent once more. It's almost comforting. I had to fight the urge to roll over onto my side and face him, or rather the pillow, once more. The bed dips as Ren moves around to get comfortable, and I find myself wondering what he might be looking at right now. Was it my ceiling, the pillow between us, or was he laying on his side and facing the wardrobe? Why the heck was I so concerned in the first place? Sure, I suppose I did find him attractive, albeit a little eccentric at times, but that didn't explain why I wanted to look at his face one more time. Did I want to get closer to him, or was I simply curious to know what that stranger was currently doing in my bed? Oh dear. Say goodnight. Move the pillow. Move the pillow. Chaos. Before I could stop myself, my hand reaches out to move the pillow from between us. I was immediately met with soft blue eyes, which I could see widen in surprise, even in the darkness of the room. Hi. Hey.
Hello there.
Talk about awkward. Without realizing it, I discard the pillows somewhere behind me as I continue to stare deeply into Ren's eyes. He does have very lovely eyes. There seemed to be some unspoken tension between the both of us, and I had to fight the urge to act upon it. What exactly was I feeling, and why did I want to find out?
I don't like where this is going.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Lean in for the kiss. Lean in for the kill. Do it. Leroy Jenkins. YOLO. Just throw all decency out the window. I usually do first playthroughs like as close as to what I would want to do, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I did. What, it's just a goodnight kiss. It's totally normal. Totally normal. Just a goodnight kiss. Just a goodnight kiss on a stranger. Before I could think, I found myself leaning over and drawing my face closer to his. Ren seemed to be on the same wavelength as me, as I felt his warm breath fan against my cheeks as his own face draws near to close the distance. One of my hands shoots out to rest against his chest, and before I could stop myself, I leaned in the rest of the way. Almost immediately, I was met with a pair of soft lips and the taste of cherry on my mouth. My eyelids flutter shut at the sensation, and I let Ren's overwhelming presence engulf my entire being. Aww. The smell of fresh mint, masculine deodorant, and something that was so wholly Ren flooded my senses, and I felt myself becoming intoxicated by it all. It was like two pieces of a puzzle slotting together, with how perfectly our lips seemed to meld with each other, and I couldn't pull myself away. One of his hands rises up to cup my cheek, and I find myself keening softly as Ren tilts his head to deepen the kiss. He takes my bottom lip into his own and gently bites down before his tongue joins in, curiously prodding against my lips as if to test the waters. Ooh. When I meet him halfway with my own, he seems to have finally found the reassurance he needed before deepening the kiss even more. His other hand comes to rest on my waist before gently pulling me closer, clearly not wanting any distance to be between us. So, Ren wanted this just as much as I did. I could feel just how eager he was as he kissed me with more desperation and fervor than anything I'd ever experienced in my life. But we could only go on for so long before one of us needed air, and that someone happened to be me. When I pull away, Ren practically whines at the loss of contact, and I watch with slight amusement as his lips unconsciously follow to seek out mine once more before his eyes flutter open. Aww. This is beautifully written. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful literature. Beautifully written. Beautiful. A beat passes as we just stare at each other, taking in the moment and to process what had just occurred.
Stop!
His hands are still on me, and it was only then when I noticed that he was tracing faint stars on my cheek with his thumb.
Stop!
Did that really just happen? His voice is soft, so soft that I could barely make out what he was saying. He's staring at me with so much overwhelming adoration in his eyes that I couldn't help but look away.
No.
And that was when I saw just how hard that kiss affected him. Need I remind you, that this game is meant for those who are 18 and above. This is an adult game with adult themes, so that YouTube does not, throw some kukri knives at me. I have to cut a few things out. But you are welcome to play it yourself. There will be a link in the description. You can download it, play it yourself as long as you are not a minor. Thank you very much. As if noticing what I was staring at, Ren let out an awkward sound and shifted so that his lower half was obscured by the blankets once more. Sorry, you're just really hard to resist. Not that I want to resist you or anything, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want you. Taken aback by his sudden boldness, I had to allow myself a moment to collect my thoughts. How will you respond? I will respond by saving my game. Now, clearly, this route is going to lead me down some not safe for work options. It's going to lead me into something I'm going to have to censor, so I'm very sorry. You can yell at me in the comments, but I'm going to skip this for now. If you are 18 years of age or older, you can click this option and see what lies in store. But I'm going to have to go maybe we should go to bed. Maybe we should go to bed now. Oh. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I hope I didn't make things awkward. Not at all. It's just, we don't really know each other that well. Yeah, but I'm kind of the one who initialized the smooching. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Really thankful to visual novel creators who kind of telegraph the smexy times when they're coming up. That makes it very easy for me. But we could get to know each other in the morning, maybe over breakfast? Yeah, I'd like that. Giving him a faint nod, could he even see it in the dark? I awkwardly turn over onto my side and settle back into bed. I feel the mattress shift once more as Ren does the same, and a heavy silence lingers in the air. Maybe he fell asleep already. Deciding to push my luck and break the silence once more, I whisper out to Ren one final time. Good night, Ren. Good night, Espoir. Sweet dreams. I'll stay up a bit longer just in case anything happens, so don't worry about a thing and just get some sleep, okay? No one's gonna break in on my watch. I'll see you in the morning. A fleeting touch of his hand still lingers on my cheek as I find myself drifting off into a blissful sleep. Ooh, lovely. This is a lot of game for just being a demo. I keep forgetting that happens. Let's see, what else? Okay. Let's be a monster and block his number. Aw. Still sitting in the Contacts app, my finger hovers over the block button before I finally decide to press it. While Ren ultimately seemed harmless, his odd and timid behavior rubbed me off the wrong way. Plus, I wasn't entirely convinced that he wasn't the same person Violet saw last night. Sure, their appearance didn't match up, but it didn't hurt to be cautious. Oh yeah, she said he would look like a Final Fantasy character with all his belts and such. Why'd the music get all like that? Why is the music bumping? Why is boss music playing? I climb into bed, with the thought of the supposed intruder still heavy on my mind, but I eventually put it to rest by remembering the heavy-duty lock I bought and installed earlier. There's no way anyone could break in now, and even if they did, I could rely on my neighbor to hear. Often I'd hear Violet gaming away on her computer until the early hours of the morning, so I felt safe knowing that she'd be around if something went wrong. What's she gonna do, throw a plant at them? Actually, no, she wouldn't throw a plant at them. Even if I couldn't hear her right now. Oh well, I'm sure everyone takes gaming breaks every so often. Snuggling deeper into the warmth of my blankets, my eyes begin to feel heavy as I slowly lulled myself into dreamland. Because of this, you failed to notice the sounds of soft footsteps creeping down your hallway. Error unknown. Oh, there was something over there. Oh, Was this? Oh, gosh darn it. Hold on a second. Okay. It just says error. Okay. Alright, just making sure. Gosh dang it. Does that still say error? You know what? I'm gonna assume that it does. Ah! Oh. Why is your text jiggling? It's bad enough that it's red, but now it's jiggling. There we go. Don't worry, Espoir. I won't let you get my bad ending. So don't hide from me. Why are you hiding from me? I won't hurt you, so don't be scared. Don't you realize that we're meant to be together? I love you, Espoir. I love you so much.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
Why did you do that? Why did you have to do that? That was unnecessary. That was unnecessary. You did not need to do that. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do it. You didn't need to do any of that. You didn't need to do that. What did you need to do that for? You're scared me. I don't like being scared. Cute jerk. Whew. Let's keep going. What happens if you send him a text? So what if it was almost 11 at night? Before I can give myself time to rethink, I shoot Ren a quick text explaining who this was and ask him if he enjoyed his book. That should do it. The response is almost immediate as my phone screen lights up in my hand, and I quickly open up my message app again to check. Hi, Espoir. Yes, I'm reading through it right now. So far it's really good. Exactly what I was expecting. Gosh, even the way he typed seemed adorable. Hope this isn't weird or anything, but I was kinda hoping you'd text back. I'm glad you did, so thank you. That's kinda weird, not gonna lie. Huh, thanks for leaving your number. Don't reply to him. Oh, it is kinda weird, not gonna lie. It is? Sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. You can just delete my number if you'd like. No, it's fine. Actually, before you do, I was wondering... Oh, he spelled it wrong. I'd like to think that he did that in the text. If you were free tomorrow, I still wanted to thank you for helping me find that book. Wow, was he serious? Like a date? Do not reply. What do you mean? He seems undecided on what to say as the gray typing bubble keeps flashing on the screen. What seems like minutes pass before he finally settles on a response. Like a date. Ooh, if that's okay with you. I can pick you up at your place tomorrow and we can go visit the pier or something. Only if you're interested, of course. We can just do whatever you want instead, if you prefer. I don't mind. So he wanted to go on a date. Well, it wasn't like I had anything planned tomorrow. It was my day off. You need to do that laundry, May. You need to clean your house. After all, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Besides, I can't even remember the last time I went with someone, let alone on a date. Yeah, maybe going on a date with him wouldn't be so bad. Besides, Ren didn't seem that bad of a guy. I could even use this as an opportunity to get to know him better. He certainly seemed interesting. With that thought in mind, I quickly sent him a text back with my address and preferred time. Hardly a moment passes before I get a response. Oh, sweet. I'll pick you up at around 11. Then. I can't wait. Aww. Oh, I just saw the time. It's getting pretty late now, huh? I should let you go to bed. Sorry for keeping you up so late, Espoir. Good night, and thanks again for all your help. I love how the text actually looks like how you would type. It's so cute. After sending him a goodbye text of my own, I placed my phone down and crawl into bed. Well, today definitely didn't turn out the way I was expecting it to, but at least I scored a date with a cute guy. With his sweet words in mind, I begin to drift off. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Aw, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. I really like this game. This is really fun. It's gorgeous. It's really fun. Is there anything else that I didn't do yet? Alright, so what if we don't agree to the date? What happens then? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Sorry, I forgot I said anything. But still, if there's anything I can do to show you my appreciation for today, let me know. Anyways, it's getting late now, isn't it? I'm sure I've already taken up too much of your time. I'll let you go to sleep then. Okay then. Good night. Good night. He sounds almost chipper at the sound of my voice, but I decide against questioning it. He was really rather eccentric person. Can I still call you tomorrow, Espoir? Or, no, never mind. Good night. He hangs up before I could even respond. Slipping into bed with his soft, breathy voice in mind, I begin to drift off. Alright, so that's pretty much the same. Instead of getting ready for bed like a psycho, why don't we make some food? Are you hungry? I think I've got some leftover takeaway still in the fridge that I can heat up, or we can raid my pantry for some snacks if you prefer. Is that okay? I don't want to be a bother. Not at all. I'm feeling a bit peckish anyway. Well, alright then. Settling onto the couch with some microwave food and snacks, Ren and I then decide on something to watch. There wasn't much on at this time besides some B-list horror flick, and to my surprise, I found out that Ren actually liked those kind of movies. At least, he seemed to enjoy it, with the way he hunched over in his seat, gaze intently staring at the screen as a hunt sequence began. But I suppose I could understand the intrigue, seeing as once I glanced back at the television, I found myself completely enraptured by the suspense and overall chilling atmosphere of it all. The killer was chasing down his victim now, and I watched with bated breath as he stalks his way towards the door, cutting off the glow of light from underneath the door frame. Almost smugly, like he knew where his victim was hiding, the masked killer knocks on the door before letting himself in. He walks with heavy footsteps towards the edge of the bed before ever so slightly bending down, lifting the quilt up, raising his axe, and... Ah! Frick! It wasn't the jump scare that got me, but rather Ren's abrupt yelp. Clenching my shirt where my rapid heartbeat thumped against my chest, I spare a glance at the lanky man with fleeting anger in my eyes. Dude? What was that for? Calm down. You already jump scared me once. Sorry, I really didn't think a cheap jump scare like that would get me. In here, I thought you enjoyed watching these kinds of films. I do. I guess I wasn't paying much attention at the time. I see. I didn't, in fact, see. We can change the movie if you'd like. You don't have to watch it because of me. I know you prefer watching anime anyway. Nah, I don't mind watching some scary movies if you... Huh, how do you know I liked watching anime? There's posters everywhere, there's plushies everywhere, there's pillows on the couch, Dakimakura pillows on the couch. I'm holding like 7 figurines in my hand. How do you know I like anime? That side of me wasn't something I'd go around telling attractive strangers, and I'd clearly remember if I told it to Ren. I saw one of your posters on your wall when we came in. Attack on Giants or something, I think? Oh, right. I totally forgot I'd hung that up when I first moved into my apartment, but I'm surprised that he noticed it from all the way in the lounge room. Shouldn't it be dark by now in the hallway? It's not like there was any windows to let in the moonlight, and I hadn't turned on the light just yet. You're digging a hole. You're digging a hole deeper, Ren. I'm figuring out what you're doing. I actually like that anime too. I've recently started watching it because I thought it looked interesting. He watches Attack on Giant? Well, now that I thought about it, it actually made a lot of sense. He definitely gave off Haruka vibes, and his oddly specific hairstyle and timid personality was proof of that. But then again, it really might have been a coincidence after all. I mean, you gotta love a guy who, styles his hair as your favorite anime character, just to get you to notice him. That's pretty cute. That's pretty endearing. Well, there was no harm in asking, right? Is that why you styled your hair like that? because it honestly reminds me of one of the characters from it. He's one of my favorite characters, actually. Do you know him? Haruko? He's the sorcerer who... Come on, Espoir, tone it down. This wasn't Moth you were gushing to. No one needed to see this cringy side of you. Although, looking at Ren, he did seem to be interested in what I had to say. But then again, he was probably just being nice. Maybe it is just a trending haircut or something. Sorry. I like Haruko too. He's very shy and sweet, isn't he? I guess that's why he's a fan favorite, huh? Do you normally go for guys like him? There's that switch in personality again. Was he always like this? I was beginning to think that it was more than just an act he was putting on. He's your type, right? Actually... I got a weird sense of déjà vu from his words, and I found myself thinking back to the time where Moth asked me that very same question, and now that I thought about it, Ren definitely fit the description I gave them. He had Haruko's looks and personality, but also liked to dress in that cozy, soft academia aesthetic that I liked. But my interests were ever-changing and dependent on my hyperfixations, so I couldn't say for certain what my current type was. Yeah. As if noticing my far-off stare, Ren breaks the silence by talking once more. Oh, but you asked about my hair, right? I guess it does have something to do with Haruko, but at the same time, not really. I chose this hairstyle because of other reasons. Well, that certainly was ominous. But before I could ask, I watch as Ren suddenly tries to make a yawn by turning his head to the side while covering his mouth. It was endearing how he tried to pass it off as though he was simply looking around the room, but I knew better. Tired? I can go get your bed set up now if you'd like. Just give me a second to pull out the air mattress. Alright, this looks pretty much the same as well. Yeah, sleep on the couch. That's the sane thing to do. Sleep on the couch. Why didn't I think of that sooner? But no, I just had to go and embarrass myself by attempting to blow up an air mattress, only to find that it had holes in it because of rats! I'm going to be known as the rat girl now. I'll never be able to show my face. Yeah, the couch is fine, but I really don't mind sleeping on the floor, honest. Oh, he doesn't seem fazed about the rats at all. No, it's okay. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor for me in the first place, so I owe you. After setting up some blankets and extra pillows from my room, I showed Ren the way to the bathroom in case he needed to go and bid him a good night. It was like my feet were on autopilot as I made my way back to my bedroom. Silently shutting the door, I awkwardly looked around my room as if I was the guest in my own house. It didn't feel awkward per se, but knowing that I had brought home a complete stranger still didn't sit right with me. But still, Ren showed no signs of wanting to murder me in my sleep, and Violet did meet him before he came inside, so maybe it wasn't such a bad idea after all. I somehow felt safe in his presence, and even though we had just met, I felt like I could trust Ren enough to leave him unattended in my lounge room. With that thought in mind, I slowly sipped underneath the covers of my bedsheets, and eventually began to drift off. Snore. So, Ren, huh? I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Half expecting him to be looming over my face. I'm pretty sure there's probably a few routes that I missed accidentally, but I'm gonna leave the not safe for work route to you. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a good night, take care of yourself, and remember, there's always hope. If you enjoyed this kind of thing, then please consider supporting me on Patreon. But if you can't afford that, and trust me, I fully understand, then simply like the video, leave a comment, or subscribe so that Algorithm Senpai may notice me.